Tired of Halloween parties that really bite? Come to Knott's Halloween Haunt.
Aren't you afraid, Grant?
With dozens of horrifying rides, shows and attractions.
Scared stiff.
It's the biggest and scariest Halloween party
In the world.
with 11 mind-twisting mazes, monsters, mayhem and madness. So hurry and get your tickets to Knott's Halloween Haunt before it sells out. They're tickets to die for.
In 1973, a little amusement park down the street from the happiest place on earth decided to get a bit spooky for the Halloween season. One of America's oldest theme parks, Knott's Berry Farm, would open Knott's Halloween Haunt, which would pave the way for modern theme park haunts today. Like most firsts, the Halloween Haunt was primitive in nature. It mostly consisted of decorations, some shows, and some costumed actors. Some of these actors were placed in strategic locations around attractions to randomly scare guests. Not wanting to miss out on some of the fun, designer Bud Herbert donned a costume and took it upon himself to jump out and scare guests. At one point, he was even slugged by a patron as he attempted to scare them. The spooky fun was so popular, Knott's continued to do it every year. The name would eventually change to Knott's Scary Farm. They expanded their offerings, of course, and the event got bigger and bigger every year. By the time the 1980s rolled around, big names in entertainment would become a staple of the event. Music parody extraordinaire Weird Al Yankovic would join the festivities in 1981. Elvira, Mistress of the Dark, would become a prominent feature at the event until 2001. The seeds of what would become the iconography of Halloween Horror Nights lends a thank you to Knott's Scary Farm. Haunted attractions, comedy shows, and scare actors all have their origins with that little park down the street from Disneyland.
Universal Orlando started its reign of theme park terror in 1991 with Fright Nights.
If you ask most people what the first Halloween Horror Nights was, more than likely you will get the wrong answer. Because the Orlando version has become something of the crown jewel of the annual event, it should surprise no one that their answer for the first Halloween Horror Nights may in fact be Fright Nights in 1991. In 1986, Universal Studios Hollywood was looking for something to curb a slow fall season. Down south, Knott's Berry Farm was preparing for their Knott's Scary Farm event. Universal decided to take a page from their playbook and do their own version of a Halloween event. Their event would run for 3 nights, starting on Halloween and ending on November 2nd. Taking the on-ride scaring concept from Knott's, their event would feature the Terror Tram, a spooky overlay of the normal park staple. During regular park hours, guests would ride the tram through the Universal Studios backlot. The tram would allow guests to see productions in progress and get a glimpse of the movie-making process. Of course, this continues today, but with added experiences such as Kong 360, Fast and Furious, and others dotting the route. For their first attempt at Halloween Horror Nights, Universal Studios Hollywood would transform the ordinary tram tour and feature ghoulish characters along the way. Halloween Horror Nights would also feature a ton of shows around the park. Everything from magic shows to tarot card readers would provide a host of entertainment for guests. Admission for the event was a whopping $14.95 and would operate at night from 6:30 p.m. to midnight. Halloween Horror Nights performers would dot the Terror Tram route and scare guests as the tram drove by. On Halloween night, tragedy would strike the event. A young 20-year-old scare actor jumped out at a passing tram and somehow managed to fall between the 2 tram cars, and the young man was killed in the incident. This tragedy would be a blow to Universal Studios Hollywood's event for a while. After the event finished its 3-day run, Halloween Horror Nights did not return the next year or anytime soon. 5 years later, Universal Studios Florida decided to bring a Halloween event to their park. The event was rebranded to Fright Nights. The now iconic image of a chainsaw carving a pumpkin also didn't make an appearance. Fright Nights was widely successful and of course came back the following year. In addition, so did the Hollywood event. The event was rebranded back into Halloween Horror Nights with Orlando also using the iconic pumpkin image for its promotional material. HHN Hollywood didn't fare as well as the Orlando event and once again would not return until 1997. Halloween Horror Nights has obviously gone on to become wildly successful, and now spans the globe with events in Orlando, Hollywood, Singapore, and Japan. But it took it a while to get there after the initial tragedy of the event. I hope you enjoyed this journey into the fog. I'm HHN Legacy, and thanks for watching.